Right, hopefully, sorry guys, fourth time lucky maybe. Facebook keeps switching the video around. Whenever I rotate the phone, it switches it the wrong way. So hopefully it's going to stick like this now. Okay, so a little bit of a technical error at the beginning of the script start. Hopefully you can see my mat. And now hopefully you can see me. Morning guys. So this is our first Slow Flow online class. So we've got a few new people today watching, which is exciting. If you have an area, you're going to need an area sort of the size of a mat at least, maybe some space either side of you at home. So we'll come seated to begin with on our mats. And we'll just take the attention to our breath. So this is a slightly slower class than maybe some of the others that I'm going to do online. The evening flow might be a bit slow as well. But yeah, certainly in comparison to yesterday's Flow Fit, this is a lot easier, a lot calmer. Hopefully you should all feel relaxed at the end of it. So whenever you're ready, just come to a seated position on the floor. It's up to you if you cross your legs or have them straight out in front of you, or if you're happy kneeling, you can kneel. And we're just going to close our eyes for a moment and take our attention to our breath. And I want you to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose if you can. And I just want you to think about taking 3 deep inhales. And if you want to, place your hands on your stomach. And when you inhale, think about filling up the base of your stomach first. And then exhale completely. And I just want you to take a further 2 breaths in your own time. Really thinking about drawing that breath deep down into the base of the lungs first, filling up the belly upwards. Last breath all the way in. And exhale completely, and you can open your eyes now. If you just roll your shoulders, we'll begin by rolling the shoulders back and down. So really hunch them up to your ears and push them back down the spine. Start to get those joints warm, wake them up. And then we're going to go forwards, so hunch them up towards your ears again and push them forwards over your chest. Really exaggerate the movement if you can. And then just come to center, and we're going to inhale as we lift our left arm up. Exhale, reach over to the right. Inhale back to center, switching over the arms. Exhale, reach over to the left. Inhale back to center, and I'm just going to do 5 of these each side with my own breath, in my own time. And just think about really lifting the body up as you come back to center, out of the pelvis. And reaching over as far as you can. Create space between the vertebrae. Open up your rib cages. Really lift and lengthen the spine as you reach. And move with your breath. So exhale as you fold. Last one each side. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling to fold and reach over. And again, the other side. And then this time we're going to come back to center. And as we exhale, we're going to twist to look behind our shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist to look behind the other shoulder. And we're just going to do 5 of these again with your own breath in your own time on each side. Always inhaling back to the middle. Exhaling to reach and push around. We've probably got 2 more each side to go. Really think about opening up the spine, twisting the spine around, so we're twisting it in a different way to the way that you just did with the lateral side stretches. Getting it moving in all directions. Last one each side. We've probably done 6 now, I can't remember. The beauty of a live class is that it goes as a live lesson we're doing in real life. So hopefully you can giggle along with me even if I can't hear you. So we're going to come onto our hands and knees. So hands under shoulders, knees into hips, and we're just going to do 5 cat-cows. So a cat-cow is simply dipping the stomach down towards the ground. So as you inhale, you're going to create a dish shape with your spine, dipping the stomach, pushing it down towards the ground, lifting the head and taking the eye gaze up towards the ceiling. Take a nice deep breath in as you do this, and then as you transition through, going to bend the spine now in the opposite direction. So exhale as you round through the spine, dropping the head slowly to look at the knees. Just slowly think about moving vertebrae by vertebrae. Really push up into the shoulders when you get to this end position. Open up your shoulder blades. Inhale to lift. Taking the eye gaze up. Exhale to round. Pushing through those shoulders again. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. And use your abdominals, really suck your navel back towards your spine to help lift the spine away from the floor. Inhale to lift. And then when you're here, really push your stomach down. So use your back muscles to push the spine in the opposite direction. Exhale, round. And then we've just got one more each side. So inhale to lift for the last time. Exhale to round. Then slowly come to put your hands and feet in all four corners of the mat, tuck the toes and press up to down facing dog. So down facing dog is an upside down V shape. You're going to spread your fingers, press through the hands, push the head through the arms and push the sit bone or tailbone high towards the sky. So you're creating this exaggerated upside down feet. Don't worry too much yet about the heels. We're just going to gently pedal the feet out. So bend the knees, keep that sit bone or tailbone high towards the sky. And then think about lengthening through the back of the calves and the hamstrings. And with your shoulders, make sure you open your shoulder blades so that your head's not hunched up here. You need to have space, so your head should be free and easy to move. There shouldn't be any tension in your upper back at all. And then slowly walk your feet in towards your hands. Take a moment in Uttanasana Ragdoll. So think about bringing your chest towards your thighs, letting your head hang long towards the ground, so the crown of the head towards the ground. And if you can't touch the floor, no problem, you can cradle opposite elbow and opposite hand, clasp behind the back of your legs. If you want to swing from side to side, take a micro bend in the knee if you prefer. And just think about lengthening that lower back, so open up that lower back. If you swing from side to side, you'll feel the stretch transfer a little bit from one side to the other, moving down the glute and outside of the leg. And then inhale as you come all the way up, bringing the hands above the head, extended Tadasana, reach up high. Exhale, release the hands, plant them on your knees, and just twizzle out the legs. Going in one direction and then the other. You might hear a few clicks and cracks and pops, but don't worry, it's just the synovial fluids moving around, and there's pockets of gases that will disperse as you do this. So it's a good sign, hopefully. There's mine. And then we're just going to rotate the ankles, twizzle them out. Again, you might hear a few clicks, cracks and pops. That's perfectly normal. And then the other one. Okay, so it's up to you where you start for this bit. If you want to start at the front of your mats, that will probably be best for you going forwards. I'm going to stand in the middle so that you can see what I'm doing. So standing at the front of your mat, so you guys will be facing that way. Take your feet underneath you, hip distance apart. We're going to be in Tadasana. Lift the toes, spread the toes, press the feet firmly into the ground. Tuck the tailbone under, suck the navel back towards the spine. Inhale as you lift the hands up above the head, extended Tadasana. Exhale as you reach the hands down by the side. And we're just going to take a nice deep breath there. This time we're going to inhale as we lift our left hand up towards the sky. Exhale as you reach over to the right. Inhale back to center, switching over the arms. Exhale, reach over to the left. Then you're going to inhale, lift both hands up. And as you reach over to the right this time, you're going to swing all the way through in a big circle. Inhaling, coming back up to the center, and then we're going to switch. So inhale as you reach over to the left. Inhale, back to center, exhale, reach over to the right. Inhale, back to center, both arms up. Exhale as you swing down and round to the right in a big circle. Inhaling all the way back up to center. Exhale, release the arms. So now we're going to come to the front of our mats if you're not already there. Inhale, lift the hands up above the head, extended Tadasana. Exhale, keep that length in the spine as you hinge at the hips and come into Uttanasana, forward fold. You're going to be here for 3 breaths, so think about bringing your chest towards your thighs. Let your crown of your head hang long towards the ground. And again, you can do that opposite elbow to opposite hand, swing from side to side. If you can touch the ground, maybe press into the ground or even clasp behind the thighs. Really focus on bringing that chest towards the thighs, let the crown of the head hang long. Take one last deep breath all the way in. Exhale and plant your hands on the floor. I'm going to slowly walk our feet back all the way to the back of the mat and find that down facing dog position. Spread the fingers, press through the hands, grip the mat or grip the floor, whatever you're on. Sorry, my hair's going everywhere today. Grip the mat or whatever you're on. Press through the arms, push the head through the arms, put the chest through the arms. Let the crown of the head hang towards the floor. Take a bend in the knees as you extend through the spine and point your tailbone towards the ceiling. And then slowly start to open up the backs of the legs, pushing the heels towards the floor. Take a nice deep breath. And then on your next inhale, you're going to lift your right leg up high to the sky, so you're in 3-legged down facing dog. And then as you exhale, swing the leg through, help it there if you need to, into lunge. So your foot plants between your hands. Take your eye gaze forwards, drop the back knee to the floor in low lunge now. Find your steady stance, so think about having train tracks on your mat. The wider the train tracks, the more stable you're going to be. So take your feet out just slightly wider if you need to, because we're going to lift our hands off the floor. Inhale as you lift your hands up above your head. Exhale as you let them fall by your side and you find crescent lunge. So lift through the chest. Think about lifting your chest towards the ceiling. Take your eye gaze up to as high as you're comfortable. So that might be just in front of you. It might be towards the ceiling, or you might want to reach all the way back and find a back bend. Let the head hang. Take a nice deep breath. Inhale, lift all the way up. Exhale, reach as far forwards as you can. Plant the hands on the floor, and then you're going to exhale as you straighten the legs. Inhale to straighten the leg, flex the toes back towards you. Exhale, fold the body over that front leg, and you're in half splits. Take a nice deep breath, reach your nose towards your toes. And then on the next inhale, we're going to do 2 more of those. So inhale, come forwards into that lunge, lift the hands off the floor, reach as far forwards as you can and come up, pressing through that front leg. Exhale, release the hands to the side of the body. Inhale as you open up the chest towards the ceiling. Inhale, lift, bringing the hands up above the head again. Exhale, reach forwards as far as you can, plant the hands on the ground. Inhale, lengthen your front leg. Flex the toes back towards you. Exhale, nose towards the toes. So you fold the body over that leg. Last time, inhale as you come all the way up, bringing the hands above the head, pressing through the floor. Exhale, release the hands to the side, open up the chest, lift the heart towards the ceiling, find that crescent lunge pose. And then inhale as you lift the hands up above the head again. Exhale, reach as far forwards as you can. Plant the hands on the floor. Inhale to straighten that front leg, flex the toes. Exhale, fold deeper over that leg. Take a nice deep breath in. Come back to that lunge position. And then tuck the toes and press back to down facing dog. And just pedal out the feet. So spread the fingers, press through the arms. Pedal out the feet, push your sit bone high towards the sky. And just stay here for a couple of breaths. Opening up the legs, easing into those hamstrings and calves. And then slowly just take half a step forwards with your feet. So your feet are a little bit closer. You're going to take your left hand through now to the outside of your right ankle. And as you do so, look out under your right armpit. Clasp around the leg. So if you're not at your ankle, you can go for your knee, your calf, wherever you need to go. Pull the body through, look up towards the ceiling. Exhale, release. Take your right hand now through to your left ankle, clasp around wherever you can reach. Look under your armpit. Inhale, pull your body through. Exhale, release. Pedal out the feet and just take them back to your normal down dog position. And then we're just going to take a moment there, pressing into the floor, press everything down. And then inhale as you lift your left leg up high towards the sky this time. Swing it through as you exhale and plant it between the hands. Come into your lunge position, help it there if you need to. Drop the back knee towards the floor. Untuck the toes if you want to. It's perfectly fine to have them tucked or untucked wherever you are preferring. And remember your steady stance train tracks, because we're going to do exactly what we did on one side to the other side now. So find your steady stance. Inhale, lift your hands up above your head, press through that front leg. And then exhale as you release the hands to the side, lift through the chest and find that back bend. Taking the eye gaze up and behind if you want to. Lifting the heart. Inhale to lift back up to center. Exhale as you reach as far forwards as you can, bring the hands over and down to the floor. Inhale to straighten that front leg. Flex the toes back towards you. Exhale, nose towards the toes, half splits. The back leg should be stacked at a 90-degree angle, hip above the knee, so don't come all the way back. Just make sure you're upright still on that leg. And think about pushing your hips back and up and reaching with your chest and your nose towards your toes so that you've got this nice angle. Inhale, come forwards, lift your hands up above your head again. Press through the front leg to bring yourself back up to center. Exhale, release the hands. Open up the heart and the chest towards the ceiling, eye gaze up. Crescent lunge. Inhale to lift. Exhale, reach forwards as far forwards as you can go. Plant the hands. Straighten the front leg as you inhale. Flex the toes back towards you. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale, fold over that leg. Last one. Inhale, come all the way forwards, lifting the hands up above the head. Exhale as you release the hands to the side, lifting the chest towards the ceiling, eye gaze up, crescent lunge. Inhale, lift the hands up above the head again. Exhale as you reach as far forwards as you can. One last time, plant the hands, inhale to straighten the leg, flex the toes. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, come back to your lunge pose, plant the hands, step back to down facing dog, and just pedal out the feet. And then slowly walk the feet in towards the hands. And just take a moment in Uttanasana, forward fold, thinking about getting your chest towards your thighs. Let the crown of your head hang long towards the ground. And then bring your hands to your heart. So bring palms together, hands to heart. And we're going to take the left elbow to the left knee, bending the left knee, straighten the right leg. And then press against the knee with your elbow to lift and twist the body to look up and over the top of the right shoulder. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, release, and we're going to switch over. So right elbow to right knee, straighten the left leg, inhale, lift and twist. Exhale, release. Take your hands down to the ground, wiggle it out. And then inhale as you come all the way up, hands above the head. Exhale, release. You should be feeling pretty warm in your lower body now. So we're going to move on up into the upper body. Okay, so standing in Tadasana again, we're going to take a big step back with our right foot, all the way to the back of the mat. The foot goes at a 45-degree angle. Front toes on your left foot are pointing forwards. So think about those steady stance train tracks again. The wider your stance, the easier it's going to be. Hips are going to be squared to the front of the mat. Shoulders, eye gaze, everything facing forwards. Inhale to lift your hands up above your head, and then exhale as you come into warrior one. Make sure your knee's not tracking forwards at the front ankle. So just take a glance, see if you can see your toes past your knee, and press equally through all four corners of your feet so that you're pressing into the ground as if you're trying to rip the mat in half underneath you. This should be an active pose for your legs. You should feel it in your inner thighs. Exhale, bring the hands down at a 90-degree bend to each side of you. Activate the fingers, cactus arms. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Inhale, lift the hands up above the head again. Exhale, come to cactus. We're going to do this one more time. Inhale, lift the hands up above the head. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, lift the hands up above the head, and this time twist the hips open to the long edge of the mat. We're going to come into warrior two. Exhale, release the arms down, parallel to the floor. Eye gaze should be over your front fingertips. Pull those shoulders back and down. Keep pressing through the mat with those feet. Take a nice deep breath. And then on your next inhale, you're going to drop the back hand and lift with the front hand up towards the ceiling, taking it back into reverse warrior. Take your eye gaze up to your top fingertips. Keep lunging in that bend. Don't straighten that front leg yet. And then inhale, windmill the arms back up. We're going to come round now. So take your whole body to the long edge of the mat. Turn your toes in. So both toes should be facing inwards towards the long edge of the mat. And you're going to come into a wide-legged forward fold. So take your feet as wide as you want. And we're going to inhale as we lift the hands up above the head. And then exhale as we hinge at the hips, folding all the way down. Bringing the hands to the floor. And then taking the crown of the head towards the floor as well. Once you're at the floor, press with your hands into the floor. So you're pushing against the floor and bringing the crown of your head lower if you can. So you're looking right underneath your legs. In between that gap. Take a nice deep breath. Keep pressing through all four corners of the feet. Keep breathing, guys. And then take your right hand into the center of the mat. Inhale as you lift and twist with your left hand up towards the front of the mat and look towards the ceiling. Press into the ground with your right hand. Really push through the shoulders. Open up the chest. Take a nice deep breath. And then exhale, release. Walk the hands all the way to the front of the mat. Find your lunge position. So twist your feet, find your lunge. Take a nice deep breath as you take your eye gaze forwards and sink into that lower leg, back leg, sorry. And then step back to down facing dog and just pedal it out for a moment or two. And then on your next inhale, we're going to roll forwards to high plank and take a vinyasa. So option to drop the knees here if you want to. Exhale to the floor. And then inhale as you press up to cobra. If cobra is too much for you, feel free to come back down to Sphinx at any point. Take a nice deep breath as you open up the hips. We're going to be here for 3 breaths. So if you want to wiggle from side to side, rock back and forth, open up that chest, open up the abdominals. You're more than welcome. And then exhale, tuck the toes, press back to down facing dog, and then just come down to your knees. And just take a moment in child's pose for 2 breaths. When you're taking your 2 breaths, slowly inhale as you come up onto your knees. So we're coming into a kneeling position, bringing the arms above the head, palms together, spread the fingers, activate the hands, lift as high as you can, and just take a little stretch up towards the ceiling, kneeling extended mountain pose. Exhale, release the hands. You're going to take your left hand onto the back of your, the base of your spine now, onto your glute, up the top of your glute. And we're going to inhale to lift with our right hand up towards the ceiling. And then exhale as we reach back into half camel. Lifting through the heart. So think about lifting up through the heart first. And go back as far as you feel comfortable. Feel free to let your neck hang if you want to. And then inhale to lift up, windmill the arms back down. Come down onto all fours. So you're on, your hands are under your shoulders, knees under hips. And we're just going to do 5 thread the needles. So we're going to inhale as we open up and twist to the right with our right hand up towards the ceiling. And then exhale as we thread the arm through under the left armpit, bringing the right shoulder down towards the floor and looking out under the left armpit. So you should finish on the floor with your arm and your head on the floor on the right side. Inhale as you lift and twist, reaching up and back again. And we're going to do this 4 more times. Exhale, thread the needle. Inhale to lift and twist. Exhale, thread the needle. Inhale, lift and twist. 2 to go. Exhale, thread the needle. This is really good for your shoulders. Inhale to lift and twist one last time. Exhale, thread the needle. And then inhale, come back up onto your hands and knees. Press back to extended child's pose. Really reach forwards with the arms. Open up the shoulders, open up the armpits. Press the armpits down towards the floor. Take a nice deep breath. And then when you're ready, we're going to inhale as we come up onto our hands and feet, tucking the toes and pressing back to down dog as we exhale. We'll take one more vinyasa. Inhale, roll forwards to high plank. Option to drop those knees. Exhale, low plank or knees just chin. Inhale, press up to cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, press back to down facing dog. And just walk the feet all the way in towards the hands. And just take a moment in Uttanasana Ragdoll. Catching your breath, you can rock from side to side. And then inhale as we lift all the way up. Hands above the head. Exhale, release. We're going to do the other side, so I'm going to just switch round. You don't have to switch round, you're perfectly fine where you are. Just so you can see what I'm doing. So this time, standing in Tadasana, I'm going to take a big step back with the left leg all the way to the back of the mat. Foot goes at a 45-degree angle. And then the front toes are obviously pointing forwards. Hips are squared off to the front of the mat, along with the shoulders and the eye gaze. Inhale to lift the hands up above the head. And then exhale, sink down into that warrior one pose. Think about pressing through your feet. Remember that steady stance. Make sure that knee doesn't track forwards of that ankle. Pull the shoulders back and down away from the ears. Your legs should feel like they're in a really strong, active position. Exhale, activate the fingers and pull the arms to the side of you, squeezing the shoulder blades together at that 90-degree angle. Cactus arms. Inhale to lift the hands up above the head again. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, lift. Exhale, cactus. And then last time, inhale to lift, and we're going to twist the hips to the long edge of the mat, finding warrior two as we exhale, bringing the hands lower to the floor, so we're parallel with the arms to the floor. Eye gaze should still be forwards over the front fingertips, but this time the hips can be twisted towards the long edge of the mat. And just make sure that knee hasn't snuck forwards. Take a nice deep breath. And then as you exhale, drop that back hand to the back thigh. Inhale as you lift with your right hand up towards the ceiling, reaching as high as you can, and then exhale to reach back into warrior, reverse warrior pose. Take a nice deep breath. Inhale as you windmill the arms out all the way through. Release the arms. Twist the feet now so they're both pointing, both toes are pointing the long edge of the mat, but finding that wide-legged forward fold again. So you might want to just shuffle around on your mat a bit. Take your legs as wide as you feel comfortable. We're going to inhale as we lift the hands up above the head, reaching tall, finding length in the spine, and then exhale as we fold forwards, hinging at the hips, bringing the head towards the ground, and pressing into the mat with our hands so that we push the crown of the head towards the ground even further. If you want to go wider, you can. See if you can get your head all the way to the ground, wherever you feel comfortable today. Take a nice deep breath. And then slowly take your left hand in towards the center of the mat, and inhale as you lift and open with your right hand towards the front of the mat in a revolved wide-legged forward fold pose. Press through that lower hand, open up the shoulders, lift the body away from the floor. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale, release. Walk the hands towards the front of the mat, find your lunge position, so twist on your feet, lift your back heel. Find a nice lunge position, pull the chest through the arms, eye goes forwards, lift that back knee away from the floor. And then as you exhale, step back to down facing dog. Just pedal out the feet. And then slowly inhale as you roll forwards. We're going to take a vinyasa. Exhale, down to the floor. Inhale, press up to cobra. Take a moment there. Open up the hips. Open up the back, open up the chest and the abdominals. And then exhale as you tuck the toes and press back to child's pose for just 2 breaths. Catch your breath while you can. And then we're going to come back up in a moment. One last breath, all the way in. Exhale completely. And then as we inhale, we're going to lift up onto our knees, bringing the hands above the head, palms together, spread the fingers, activate the hands. Reach up tall as you can. Find extended Tadasana. Take your eye gaze up to the ceiling. And if you want to take a little back bend, you can. Exhale, release the hands. Take the right hand this time onto the lower back or top of the glutes, the fleshy bit of your butt. And then inhale to lift the left hand up towards the ceiling and exhale as you reach back, lifting through the heart, remember, into kneeling camel, half camel, sorry. Take a nice deep breath. You can allow the head to drop towards the back. And then inhale back to center. Plant the hands on the floor. Come into that hands and knees position. And this time I'm going to take the left hand up high to the sky and do those thread the needles. So inhale to lift the left arm right up and back. Take the eye gaze with it. And then exhale as you thread the needle, bringing the shoulder, the left shoulder towards the floor and looking out under your left armpit, your right armpit, sorry. My lefts and rights are terrible, guys, sorry. Inhale to lift, reaching up high. Exhale, thread, bringing that left arm all the way down, looking out under the armpit. 3 to go. Inhale to lift. Exhale, release that arm through and under. Take your eye gaze under there with it. And then inhale, lift. Exhale, thread the needle. Last one, inhale to lift. Exhale, thread the needle. Inhale to lift all the way up. One last time, plant the hand down, and then just take a moment in child's pose as you come back and extend your child's pose. So really reach forwards with the hands, activate the fingers, activate the arms. Bring the forehead to the floor and press the armpits down into the floor. You should feel this stretch under the arms. That's what we're aiming for. Take a nice deep breath all the way in. Exhale completely. And then when you're ready, inhale, come up onto the hands and feet, tuck the toes. Exhale, press back to down facing dog. We'll take one more vinyasa. So inhale, roll forwards to high plank. Exhale, low plank or knees just chin. Inhale, press up to cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, press back to down facing dog. Just pedal it out for a couple of breaths. And then slowly walk the feet in towards the hands. Take a moment in Uttanasana, forward fold. You can rock from side to side, back and forth. And then bring the hands together, so palms together, bring the hands to your heart. Think about bringing that left elbow to the left knee, straightening that right leg again, and we're going to take another twist. So inhale as you lift and twist, looking over your right shoulder, up towards the ceiling. Exhale, release, switch over. Right elbow to left knee, inhale, lift and twist. Exhale, release. Plant the hands, pedal it out, swing from side to side, whatever you need to do. And then inhale as you come all the way up to standing. Exhale, release. And relax. You've done your standing strength bit now. So we're just going to try some balance postures. And then we'll move further down into the floor and you can start stretching off and cooling down before we head to Savasana. So I'm going to demonstrate the flow and then you can have a go at doing it yourselves along with me. So I'll just demonstrate on one leg to begin with. So we're going to inhale as we're going to rise up onto our toes. So find your steady stance. If you need to take your feet wider to steady yourself, please do, but really they should be hip distance apart. So rise up onto your toes, lift your heels away from the floor, pull your shoulders back and down away from your ears. Extend from heels to fingers, so fingers reaching up high, reach high with the hands. And then as we exhale, we're going to sit back into chair pose, so bending at the knee, keeping that tailbone tucked under, sucking the navel back towards the spine. Sit back as if you're reaching for a chair behind you. See how low you can go. Keeping on your toes. This is going to make it hard for you. If you want to put your heels down and just do normal chair pose at any time, you can. See how long you can do it. So that's the first one. The next one we're going to do, after that we're going to come back to Tadasana. We're going to inhale again, and this time as we inhale and lift the arms, we're going to lift the leg up high. So one leg at a time. We'll do one side first and then the other. Lifting the leg up high, tucking it in towards the chest, so you're using that compression area there. If you want to, you can stay here. If you want to challenge yourself further, see if you can extend the foot out in front of you, flexing the toes back. Then bring the knee back into you, bending again, and then see if you can tilt the body over, kicking the leg back, coming into warrior three. Hold there for 3 breaths, and then we're going to open out into half moon, so that you're going to take the hip back over the top of the left leg or right leg, whichever side you're balancing on. Feel free to use a wall if you need to. And then open up with the arms to the side to find half moon pose. See if you can stay there for 3 breaths. And then bring your hands together at your heart. Swivel the hip round and bring the leg through and across the standing leg. So cross with the ankle over the standing leg. And we're going to find crouching tiger pose. So sit back into that crouching tiger or standing pigeon pose, whatever you want to call it. Hold there for 3, and then inhale to come all the way up and release. So we're going to try that. We'll start with the standing chair, and then we'll go through it together. So come to the front of your mats in Tadasana. Inhale as you lift your hands up above your head, rise up onto your toes. Find your steady stance if you need to. And then exhale as we sit back towards the chair, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. How low can you go? Hold for 3, 2, 1. Inhale to lift. Relax the legs and do the relax the arms as well. And just catch your breath again. Or I need to catch my breath because I'm talking too much. Sorry guys. So then we're going to lift the right leg. So we'll start with the right leg this time. So we're going to inhale as we lift the arms and the right leg up into that tuck position. If you're comfortable here, stay here. If you want to challenge yourself, extend the leg out in front of you and see if you can hold for 3, 2, 1. Then tuck the leg back in. And then slowly kick back and come into that warrior 3 with control. So warrior 3 is as much warrior 3 here as it is parallel to the floor. Don't go further than parallel, don't end up dishing and arching. Once you get to parallel, reach with the fingers, reach with the toes. Arms should be by your head, so your head should be looking at the floor. You should be in one nice long straight line. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to open up into that half moon pose. So open up the chest and the arms towards the side, stack the hips. This is the hardest one, guys. Hold there. You can do it. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and then bring the hands to the heart. Swivel the hip back around. Bring the leg through, planting the ankle across the knee, the standing leg. And then exhale as you sit back into crouching tiger pose. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and release. Okay, so we're going to do that on the other foot. So you might just want to shake out your legs a little bit, work it off, and then we're going to move the body weight over to the right leg. So the right leg's your standing leg this time. We'll start with the inhale. So inhale to lift the hands and the knee up, compressing that knee tight in towards the chest if you can. If you're comfortable here, stay here. If you want to extend the leg, extend the leg. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Tuck the leg back in if you haven't, and then start slowly swiveling around into warrior 3, kicking the leg back, bringing the chest towards the floor, finding that parallel body position. Arms straight forwards, legs kick back, point the toes, point the fingers, reach. This should be an active, strong position. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to find that half moon pose. So open up the chest and the arms, drop the right hand towards the floor, open up with the left towards the ceiling, twist the body over towards the left side of the mat, stacking those hips, squeezing those glutes, squeezing those shoulder blades. Hold for 3, 2, 1, bring the hands to the heart, twizzle the hip round, swing the leg through and across that standing leg, and then slowly sit back into crouching tiger pose. And when you're there, hold for 3, 2, 1, and then inhale to lift, exhale, release. And you've done your balancey bits, so well done guys. We'll just do a final little flow before we, a final couple of stretches, sorry, before we finish in Savasana. So we're going to come all the way down to the floor now onto your hands and knees. I'm going to find that extended child's pose. So sit at the back of your mat on your heels, and we're going to reach forwards with the hands again, bringing the forehead to the floor. And reaching forwards with those arms. So activate the fingers, find your extended child's pose. Hold here for a couple of breaths. And if you're comfortable here, you can stay here. For those who want to get deeper into a stretch, we'll take this to puppy pose. So the first step to get to puppy pose is to simply lift the eye gaze and take the chin towards the floor. So if you want to just lift off the heels slightly, reach forwards to the front of the mat and put your chin on the floor. So eye gaze should be at the front of the mat, chin to the floor. Really reach with your cervical spine, so bend that neck back, look up as high as you can to help yourself open up that throat. Take a couple of breaths. You should feel this in your shoulders, your armpits, maybe beginning to get into your chest. And then if you're comfortable here, stay here. If you want to take it further and see if you can do full puppy pose, see if you can get your chest all the way to the floor. Just be careful not to let your your hips go too far past your knees. So you should feel this only in your upper back. There should be no movement at all in your lower back. It should be relatively neutral. Take a couple of breaths here. And then slowly come back up. Come out of that position and swivel round onto your bums. And we'll find a seated forward fold. So coming onto your bums, take your legs out straight in front of you, flex your toes back towards you. Pull the fleshy bits out from underneath your sit bones. And then we're going to find length in the spine. So think about lifting the body out of the pelvis, tucking that tailbone under, sucking the navel back towards the spine. Inhale as you lift and lengthen, and then exhale as you reach with your chest over your thighs, and then allowing your head to drop towards your knees. You're going to be here for 10 breaths. So we're going to make this an active posture. So we're going to inhale as we find length in our spine. Exhale as we reach further forwards over those legs. Inhale, find more length. Exhale, that's 3 breaths. Well done, guys. Inhale, see if you can find a little bit more length. Exhale, fold deeper. Inhale for 5 breaths. Exhale, fold deeper. Inhale for 6. Exhale. Inhale, can you find any more length? Exhale, fold deeper. Inhale for 8. Only 2 to go after this. Exhale. Inhale for 9. Find some more length if you can. Exhale, fold deeper. Inhale for your last breath. See if you can find as much length as possible. Really reach forwards with that chest. And then exhale, fold deeper. And then inhale, release. Well done. So you should have felt that within your thighs. I should have said, sorry, if you needed a strap, you can always use a strap around your feet to help you get there, or creepy crawl your hands along the side, whatever you're comfortable with. If you don't have a strap at home, you can get straps and blocks on Amazon for about, so I would suggest getting 2 of these blocks if you're going to practice more at home. They're quite hard. And a strap, so I've got a box of straps here, or a pot of straps. So just a simple strap. If you don't want to get it off Amazon, or can't be bothered, whatever your reason, you can always use a jumper or a t-shirt or a pair of leggings, trousers, whatever you've got to hand really. The reason these blocks are useful is if you're doing your fitness yoga, they're more sturdy, so you can actually press your weight through them and they're not squidgy, so they won't collapse underneath you. These ones tend to be a bit squidgier, and actually you could probably just use a pillow instead of these whenever you need these, so you don't need to invest in this really, although if you want to, they are worthwhile, I suppose, if you're going to practice more. So it's up to you. Whatever you're comfortable with. So, coming back to your stretches, sorry I diverted. We're going to do half head to knee pose. So keeping the left leg out long, keeping those toes flexed back towards you. You're going to take the sole of the right foot towards the inner left thigh. You're going to square the body off to that right leg, and we're going to inhale to lift and lengthen just like we did in the forward fold, and exhale to bring the chest over the thigh, and then allow the head to drop to the knee. This stretch should be felt in the outside of your back, so you should feel it all under your rib cage, down your arm, down the outside, the right side of your back. We're just going to be here for 5 breaths. The forward fold stretches obviously the centre of your spine, your lower back, your glutes a little bit, and your hamstrings, whereas this gets into the lateral areas of the body, I suppose. You're probably over halfway now with your breath, so just take 2 more deep breaths all the way in. Exhale, see if you can fold deeper still over that leg. 1 last breath all the way in. Exhale, fold deeper still, and then inhale to come all the way back up. Switch over your legs, so right leg goes out in front, left sole of the foot comes towards the right thigh. Inhale as you lift and lengthen. Exhale as you fold forwards over that leg, bringing the chest towards the thigh and letting the head hang down towards the ground. And again, we're here for 5 breaths. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. You've probably got 2 more breaths or so to go. See if you can get deeper into that stretch if you can. Last breath all the way in. Exhale completely, see if you can fold as deep as you can go. And then inhale as you come all the way back up. And we're going to come into reclined butterfly. So bring your bum just slightly into the centre of the mat more. Soles of the feet go together. And just bring the heels in towards the hands. You can use butterfly the legs if you want to. We're going to roll backwards now with this. So soles of the feet together, and then slowly bring your body down onto the mat. So you might need to just shuffle down the mat a little bit more so that your head's not hanging off the end. And just let the knees fall out to the side. So soles of feet together, knees out to the side. And if you want to, use your hands to just help push them down. Find length in your spine. See if you can keep your lower back against the floor. Try not to let your back arch as you press against your thighs. Relax into this position and just let the gravity do your work. Take a couple of deep breaths. One more deep breath all the way in. Exhale completely. And then inhale as you bring your knees up towards your chest and just give them a hug with both hands. You're going to take your hands over to your left knee this time. Exhale as you extend your right leg all the way to the floor. Inhale to pull your left knee in towards your left shoulder. Take a nice deep breath. And then exhale, release it further into your shoulder, and then inhale to bring both legs back up to center. Switching over the hands, exhale as you extend your left leg all the way to the floor this time. Inhale to pull your right knee in towards your right shoulder. Take a few deep breaths. And then slowly inhale to bring both knees back up to center. Release the hands now from the knees and take the arms out and the hands in a T-shaped position, palms facing down. If you're practicing this at home, you might need to shuffle around to find some space. And then we're going to drop the, so you're going to keep the shoulders glued and the hands glued to the floor. And we're going to drop the knees over to the left as we exhale, allowing them to drop all the way to the floor if they can, keeping that right shoulder glued to the floor. Inhale to twist and lift your head to look at the back of your right hand. And if you want to, you can press down on your outer thigh with your left hand, or you can extend the top leg and cradle it in your left hand also, whatever you prefer. Just take 5 deep breaths here. Last deep breath all the way in. Exhale completely. And then inhale as you lift the head and the knees back to center. And then we're going to drop them over to the other side. So exhale, drop the knees over to the right side of the body. Keep that left shoulder glued to the floor. Inhale to lift and twist the head to look towards the left side of the body. And then again, if you want to press on the outer thigh, or extend that top leg and cradle it in the opposite hand. Do whatever you feel your body needs in this moment. So yoga is all about listening to your body, being in tune with how it feels, noticing what it's asking for, pushing it as far as you feel comfortable, but without pushing it to the point that your ego takes over. It's all about acceptance. Take one last breath all the way in. Exhale completely. And then we're going to inhale as we lift the knees and the head back to center. Give them one last hug with your arms. You can rock from side to side, back and forth. Massage that lower back. And then we're going to slowly exhale as we extend our legs. And we're going to come into Savasana, our relaxation phase. So if you want to stick around, I'm going to do a quick guided Savasana for you all. If you don't, then feel free to come back and join us next week. This is our last class this week. Next week we have Monday nights evening flow, at 7 p.m. Then we have Tuesday morning a 9 a.m. flow with me session. Wednesday we have 7 a.m. flow fit, and then again we're back to Thursday. So before you know it, a week will be gone, hopefully. I'll try and keep you entertained. Meanwhile, if you want more yoga, feel free to re-watch any of these videos, or join in with the yoga challenge that I'm running at the moment. So just follow the main page, see what the challenge of the day is, and go from there. So for those of you that want to do Savasana, just get comfortable on your mats, close your eyes, and just start to take your attention to your breath. Breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. Take 3 deep inhales, filling up all the way into the base of the stomach. Filling into the rib cage, and then right up to the collarbone. And when you can't take any more air in, exhale completely. And you can do this in your own time. You can follow the breath with your mind's eye as it flows in through the nose, following it down the chest, into the base of the stomach, and then following it all the way back up and out again. And just notice how that breath sits within your body. Start to notice how your body feels, notice what areas move, how your ribs rise and fall with every inhale and exhale. And then begin to scan the other areas of your body too. So notice how your arms are feeling, notice how your legs are feeling. And just think about sending that breath to all those areas of the body. And on your next deep inhale, I want you to think about sending the breath in towards the face. And as you do that, crunch every muscle up as tightly as you can. Clench your eyes, clench your lips, clench your cheeks, clench your mouth. Exhale as you release all those muscles and relax them back down again. Let your eyes be heavy in their sockets. Let your cheeks back down towards your ears. Let your jaw soften. Just release any tension that you're holding there. And then keep following that breath now with your mind's eye as it trickles down the neck and into the shoulders and the arms and the hands. And as you take another deep inhale, clench everything up tight towards your body. So clench your hands, clench your shoulders up towards your ears. And as you exhale, release everything back down deeper into the mat. Let your hands fall open by your sides. See if you can find more space between your shoulder blades or more length in the back of the neck. And then that breath now moves down the spine and into the lower body, so into the hips and the glutes, the legs and the feet. And as you take another deep breath in, clench your toes into tight little balls and squeeze your glutes and hips up tight. Squeeze every muscle in your legs as tightly as you can. And as you exhale, release. Allow everything to just fall open and sink deeper into the mat below. Let your feet fall open to the sides. Let your legs feel long and heavy. And just notice now how your body feels. With any areas of tightness that you can still release. And I want you to take one final deep inhale as you clench every muscle up in your body this time as tight as you possibly can. And as you exhale, release everything back down deeper into the mat below. Let your hands fall open. Let your shoulders melt into the ground. Let the small of your back sink deeper. And just keeping your attention on your breath, following its rise and fall within your body. Enjoy these last few moments of stillness, ignoring the outside noises and sounds. And if you find you're distracted by thoughts or sounds, just bring your attention back to your breath. And then just slowly start to bring your awareness back into the room. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Start to notice the noises around you. You can start to make those movements bigger if you want to. Take a big stretch, hug your knees in towards your chest. Do whatever you feel your body needs you to do in this moment. And then slowly, whenever you're ready, just come to seated and join me cross-legged for one last breath. As we take a deep inhale, we're going to lift our hands up above our head, palms together. As we exhale to the forehead, kind thoughts, to the lips, kind words, to the heart, kind feelings. Namaste. Thank you very much, guys. Hope you enjoyed it this morning. Hopefully you're feeling a bit more refreshed, a bit more relaxed, and I look forward to catching up with you next week, or maybe seeing a few of your yoga challenge poses, so feel free to send them in to me. Today's challenge was finding your float, so a little bit not slow flow. It's all about finding some hang time in the air between transitions, so hopping back from Uttanasana, forward fold to plank, and then going from down facing dog back to forward fold without having to take those steps. We're going to jump each way. So have a look at the video on the main page for that if you want to give it a go. Yesterday's was lizard lunge. So there's a couple of different ones on there. So just have a look back on the last few days. Tomorrow there'll be another one, and it will carry on for the next 30 days. So keep tuning in every morning, see what the new challenge of the day is, and join in. There's lots of prizes to be had. free class passes for when everything gets back to normal. And also at the end of the month, for one lucky winner, there'll be a free one-to-one session with me. So yeah, make sure you join in on that. Keep an eye out for any additional classes or yoga flows that I might post over the next few days. And yeah, that's it. Have a lovely day for the rest of you, and see you next week.